luxury car. In fact, what makes it luxury? Just because you're paying $50 or $60 or $70,000 or more, are you getting something that looks unique, that has a distinct look and feel about it? Are you getting cutting-edge design that's going to look fresh for years to come? Are you getting interior features and details that fit your lifestyle, that make things more comfortable, that make things easier for you, and that delight you when you use them? Is your car a haven so that it feels good to be inside of it no matter where you are and what you're doing, whether you're on a long road trip with a bunch of annoying people, you know, especially the little ones, or if you're just running to the grocery store to get milk? Whichever it is, your car should be a delight if it's a luxury car. The look of the GV80 starts right here on the front of the car with this diamond cut grille. It has the Genesis badge right there on the front, and you'll also notice there's a camera here for driving and safety. There's also a lower grille, both of them allow for air intake, and it has these very slim LED headlights that actually wrap around the side of the car. So you see them there on the front, but they also are there on the side. That's where you'll have the turn signal, hazard flashers, and then on the lower portion, the daytime running lights. That sort of linear look continues here with these side air vents. And even the door handles, which are topped with a little touch of chrome here. The front lights are repeated here on the rear, so you see these rear tail lights that also wrap around the side of the car. On the back here you have the Genesis badge, and then GV80, and then over here on the side we learned that this is an all-wheel drive 3.5 liter turbo. It has 375 horsepower, so quite a lot of power for a 2-row or 3-row SUV. One thing that's really cool is the trunk opener is right there. So you just push that little button and the trunk pops open. To close it, the closure is right here. Around the side, you'll notice this really beautiful gleaming paint. It's got some nice little metal flecks in it. It really is glowing and beautiful. It just looks like kind of a pale silver without the light, but when the light hits it, you can really see the glitter deep in this car's paint. On the side, you'll see these chrome panels that also give it sort of a standout look on the road or on the grass. The cargo cover can actually be stored right in here if you don't want it covering your cargo, which it's not always the most convenient thing. There's a storage spot that's right here underneath the cargo floor. It pops right in here. Now you do have to remove these panels to accommodate it. And then underneath, there's even a little more cargo space where you can store a few things down here too. And these rear seats don't just look luxurious, they actually are luxurious. So there's this beautiful quilted leather, something that you expect in a luxury car. There is this really nice armrest with cup holders that pop out. Another thing that you expect. What you don't expect is to be able to recline and to pull your seat down. So you can actually push the bottom down a little bit, and you can push it back to give you a little more legroom. Not a ton, but definitely comfortable for taking a nap. Another thing that you'll see back here is rear seat passengers get climate control. There are vents, there are heated and cooled seats, heated and cooled. And there are 2 USB ports and a household plug. Genesis has eliminated at least one of those cigarette adapter style power ports. There's one in the rear, but instead of putting one of those useless things here, they actually gave you a household plug. That's a pretty nice luxury. I think the most impressive thing about the GV80 are the interior finishes. The finishes are really nice. The quilted leather, not only on the seats, but also on these side panels down here. That everything is finished in leather all the way up to where the window meets the dashboard. That you have this really beautiful two-tone leather trimmed steering wheel. It's got a little bit of a cush to it, so it's a little soft and squishy, not too much, but just a tiny bit, which gives you that really nice hand feel as you're driving. You feel like it's a pleasant thing to put your hands on. The driver information screen here, so you just push this button and it allows you to scroll through different settings. You have voice control here, music here, and then your adaptive cruise settings are here. You also have paddle shifters with 375 horsepower, not a bad option at all. This car has a lot of power. And then you'll notice here there are volume and tune buttons. So these are actually dials that allow you to dial the volume and then dial your radio station. There's a menu button, a home button, and a back button. So those are pretty standard. But this is really what is so intriguing on this car. So this is a dial controller. Notice that as I turn the dial, the infotainment system moves to accommodate the dial. And then if I turn it to, let's see, I'm going to turn it over here to seat. And this allows me to tap here for that control. And then I can dial my controller to toggle through the lists. And then I can tap inside the circle here to change the setting for the thing that I want. So this actually will allow me to fold the back seats from the front. Here's something I really love. It has a retractable headrest, so you can pull it all the way back and you can ratchet forward one notch at a time. Great if you have a ponytail, and then when you don't want to have a ponytail, it's really easy to put it in a comfortable place. There's also a hill descent control. You can also lock the differential, which will allow you to get more traction with all of your wheels. There's a park sensor and a rear view camera. So you can display whatever you want to see with the rear view camera. And then sounds of nature. If you want to have some nice calming sounds, the sound of a snowy village. So if you want to have those, you can do that. And then warm fireplace, open air cafe, something that we don't hear that much of these days. So nice to have that as an option. And what is a luxury car without head-up display? Well, the Genesis GV80 has head-up display. So you're able to see, based on this projection box here, you're able to see from the projection box here the head-up display information on the windshield there. You can actually customize your head-up display information by toggling through the settings on the infotainment system. The Genesis GV80 that we're test driving has the 375 horsepower larger engine, and that in itself is a luxury. And why would you consider the larger engine a luxury? Well, that's because all you have to do is tap the gas and away you go. And that you don't have a lag to merge on the highway, that you have the power you need to carry a full load, all the passengers, all the cargo, and that you have the responsiveness that you want when you're driving on a fun road, well, that is a luxury. It also has blind spot monitors. It's a large SUV. It is not by any means small, even though it is a 4-door, 5-door, 5-passenger SUV. It does have a third row option. It is not a huge third row. It really is designed more as a convenience than it is for everyday use, but gives you that extra seating, those moments that you really need it. And that's a pretty cool thing. Pretty much anything that you can think of And the Genesis, and a luxury SUV is in the Genesis GV80. And the acceleration is just fabulous. It's really fun. You might want to add in who designed your car. Well, if your car was designed by people who used to design Lamborghinis and Bentleys, Audis and BMWs, if it was engineered by those same people who engineered world-class European sedans and SUVs, and if it was priced and packaged and delivered by a company that thinks you are at the center of the equation, not the finance people at the dealership and not the manager who wants to talk you into the car that's on the lot, well, that is all that has gone into this, the Genesis GV80.